Next, which is an important topic which I'm going to discuss here, is called as the operating system process concepts. What is actually a process? A process is nothing but a program in execution. The execution of a process must progress in a sequential fashion. Or in another way, I can define process as an entity which represents the basic unit of work to be implemented in the system. Or I can put it in a simple word like, you have an example here. We write our computer programs in a text file. Using a text file we are writing it, and when we execute this in program, it becomes a process which performs all the tasks mentioned in the program. So when a program actually is loaded into the memory, and it becomes a process. With the help of the programmer, we are writing program, and we take that program for the execution. That time it changes as the name as called as the process. It can be divided into 4 sections. One is stack, heap, text and data. This is actually the layout of the process. What is actually stack? Stack, you already know, where we can store variables value. It is actually a temporary data. We can store it for a short time, and if we doesn't need, we can delete it. Heap is nothing but the dynamically allocated memory to a process during its runtime. And text, which has includes the current activity, which is represented by the value of the program counter and the contents of the processor register. What is actually a data? Global, which have local data and global data variables. This is actually an important difference between what is actually a process and program. So as I said before, a process is nothing but it is a actively running software, or I can just say as a computer code. Any procedure must be carried out in a precise order, whereas program is nothing but set of instructions which are executed when a certain task is allowed to complete that certain task. And the next is process. Process is dynamic in nature, whereas program is static. Process is an active in nature, program is passive. Process is created during the execution, and it is loaded directly into the main memory, whereas program is in the secondary memory. Process, it has its own control system, which is known as process control block, PCB, whereas program, which doesn't have any control system, it is just called when specified, and it executes the whole program when called. Next is, we are going to see about the process states. How many states we are having? New, running, waiting, ready state and terminate. What is actually new? The process is being created, that is in the new state, and the running state is instructions are being executed. And waiting, the process is waiting for input output, something is going to happen, some event is going to occur. And ready state, the process is waiting to be assigned to the processor. And the last is called as the termination, the process has finished the execution. So here comes the explanation of the transition diagram. New, where I can create a new process, and it will be moved to the ready state, where a number of processes are waiting for execution, and then the process will move to the running state. Once running, if it want to perform any input output event, it has to be moved to the waiting state, and again it should meet the ready state, and then it should move to the running, and then once the task is completed, it can move to the terminated state. So this is the explanation which they have given here. Being created, then the process is moved to the ready state, where it waits till it is taken for the execution. What is actually PCB? PCB, which consists of extensive information about the process. Here, what actually the PCB has is, it has the CPU registers, it has CPU scheduling information, and it has memory management information, it has accounting information, and it has input output status information. So what is accounting information is how much amount of CPU has been used, and what is the time limit that one process has to be in the CPU. So that's all about the program counter. Program process control block. Thank you.